Hey everybody, Chris here. Has Dogecoin hit bottom? We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when the videos come out as well as when I do live streams. I'll be live next on Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock p.m. East Coast time. Join in. Make sure you're subscribed. You got your notifications on. I'll take your questions. We'll talk about what went on in the market during the week and look forward to the weekend of trading. Right now, geopolitical tensions around the world. The news isn't the best. That's kind of what we have in this bear market right now. What are the signs that will show that this is going to break out soon? Let's get into it. Let me show you the charts in the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. And we start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart at 9.85 cents. 9.85. We have been watching the bottom of this yellow box here at 10 cents and an upward sloping support line that is coming to a confluence here coming up this weekend. So something's going to happen here. I don't think it's just going to bleed out. We're going to have some movement. We'll be watching that. Bitcoin is back to 67.4, also under its yellow box as well that we've been tracking. So the whole market is just a lot of uncertainty in the market right now. ETH is under $2,000. We've been tracking that $2,000 line for ETH. And despite Tom Lee and Bitmine just buying more ETH, the price is still down. You'd think somebody buying that much, we'd see the price go up. And it doesn't. And it doesn't. Because that's the kind of market we have right now. There's a lot of selling going on. Of course, some of that is manipulation. We'll look at that in a little bit as well. We start here with gold and silver. Silver back over $80, up to $81. Gold is back over $5,000. And when we have silver and gold going back up, that means there's uncertainty going on around the world and investors are going back into precious metals, not quite at the rate when we had this huge run up for silver, 77 up, way up over 81. We had silver earlier going up even higher. So it's settled a bit, which is normal, but we do see, again, more investing going on into the metals. Meanwhile, Bitcoin going sideways. Today we have the US Q4 GDP, PCE price index being released. Volatility could pick up, but I don't think so. It's a Friday. And I don't think the numbers are going to be off that much from the expectation, so I'm not expecting anything. Pre-market trading right now, recording this on Friday before the stock market opens. Futures are down for NASDAQ and S&P, but at barely any, 0.03%, 0.01%. That's pretty much level. That's pretty much level. However, BlackRock is depositing 2,500 Bitcoin worth 172 million and 49,000 ETH worth 97 million to Coinbase, which means they're going to be selling because the Bitcoin ETFs, all of those holders have been selling as well. The investors, right, that were going to be buying the ETFs and they're going to be they don't hold. They don't hold. As soon as the market shifts, we see a lot of selling going on. Getting out of IBIT. This is the BlackRock IBIT ETF, and these are the BlackRock wallets, and they are transferring Bitcoin to Coinbase Prime in order to sell because their users are selling. BlackRock itself is not selling on its own. They're holding on behalf of the backup of the IBIT shares that have been bought. And when those sell, BlackRock sells the corresponding asset. In this case, Bitcoin and ETH as well. We have the ETH as well. Overall, Gel says bears remain in control, driving price lower and lower. Don't fight the trend. Embrace it as the opportunity it presents. Another chance to load up on cheaper coins. So when is that chance? When is the chance to load up on cheaper coins? I can only tell you what I'm doing right now, and I will show you when I think I am going to start reaccumulating. It's not right now, though. I'll give you clues. Not right now. Caldupe says something unusual showing up across the markets right now. Geopolitics, positioning, volatility, all hitting at the same time. Here's what's lining up. U.S.-Iran tensions heating up again. If there's some conflict there, that's going to have a big impact on oil. If oil prices start going up, then that is bigger trouble because oil is already kind of pushing higher, crude trading at levels not seen since August. When geopolitical risk builds, energy usually reacts first. Oil tends to move before the narrative catch up. So that's the sign. That's the sign right now. Gold volatility at its highest since 2008. We're not talking about the price now. We're talking about the volatility index of gold spiking up. When gold behaves like a high beta asset, something underneath is shifting. So we have that looming over. Equities flashing a strange mix. Listen to this. 54% of the S&P stocks are overbought. Highest since June 2025. So if we see that, we would think, well, okay, a correction is coming. But at the same time, 26% of them are oversold, the highest since October. So we're having this big divergence. Some stocks are way up high, some stocks are suffering and are low. There's a big mix, separation going on between these two. So does that mean the oversold ones are going to recover and come up? Are the overbought ones there's going to be start selling and it's going to come down and correct? That's pretty interesting. Both happening together almost never shows up. Insider selling running at record paces while executives sell. The timeline debating World War III, that's all out there. Crypto, feeling it too. Spot Bitcoin ETFs just saw their largest cycle drawdown since the October all-time high. Roughly 100,000 Bitcoin sold. Again, these are the holders of the backup asset that are selling because the buyers of the IBIT ETFs, all those ETFs are all those investors. They're selling, and so the underlying asset needs to be sold. But look at this. Ethereum, now 6 consecutive red months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive red months. The only time ETH had more was 7, and that was back in 2018 from May to November. But that was through the summer months. And now you would expect that. You would expect through the summer months. Because we have typically those red months are the summers. And here we are, we're only in February. Summer hasn't even come yet, and that's when I think we're going to have some red months in the summer of this bear market. But we're already 6 months in a row red on ETH. Altcoins being offloaded aggressively. More capitulation than enthusiasm. Risk on versus risk off. Right now, risk off is the direction. Zoom out, picture looks like this. Geopolitical, oil, gold, extreme internal dispersion, insider selling, institutions de-risking. Retail is mostly absent. I know we're still here, many of us holding, many looking for entry positions, but we're not having a correction back up anytime soon, in my opinion. Markets often get darkest when participation disappears and fear dominates the conversation. So this is what a bear market looks like. Bitcoin is oversold. Here we are on the RSI. This could be the bottom. This could be the bottom. Keep an eye on the RSI for the next few months. Right? Mr. Crypto says a few months, not like a few days or a few weeks. He's saying a few months. We have to see what happens going forward. Meanwhile, a whale has opened a $54 million Bitcoin long at a 40x leverage, liquidation price 62,288. So that's the target right there. That target, 62. The market makers are going to find that. I don't know why these guys don't just make a whole bunch of series of smaller trades. Why do they make such a huge, big trade that has such a big target on it? Why do they do that? $54.5 million, and there's that liquidation price of 62.2. That's just unbelievable. But that's what they keep doing. And then, so my guess right now is we're going to see in the next couple of weeks Bitcoin dropping down to 62.2. Doge Fear and Greed Index is 25 fear. It's no longer an extreme fear, but we're not neutral yet. We're just in the middle right here. We're in the middle, just fear. That's kind of where we are right now. That's expected. Dogecoin holds 9.7 cents support amid weak momentum. And that is true. I'll show you that on the charts. We zoom out. We look at Doge looks like it's bottoming. From 2016 here to 2020 here, and now 2026. And this is a logarithmic chart. It's just based on percentages. And you would think since October that downfall in that Dogecoin price would eventually hit a bottom. But I think it's too violent down. I mean, 2022, we had the violent down and then sideways. Even back here, 2016 was pretty much sideways. And I think we still have that sideways to come. Could still have a relief rally. And that's what I would see. Trader Tardigrade looks at that as well. It's like maybe there's a relief rally and then another capitulation down. That's what I would expect to happen before some breakout happens in Doge. And whale factor zooming back in here. This is back to 2024. And what we have is this is this line here that's kind of just below 9.7. And we've seen retests. Now that we had that in February 2024 here before memes went on a kind of a relief rally in 2024 and then capitulated and came back down in the summer of 2024 right here. Remember, this is when I was pointing out that was a gift going into the fall of 2024. I was like, that's the gift right there. Between 9.5, 9.7, you could have bought Doge. Now, obviously, 2023, you could have bought Doge at 6 cents, but we were resetting in 2024, and this was right before the big election that had Elon with Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, like all that excitement behind that, and of course, Dogecoin's price blasted up into the 40s. Here we are again. We're back down at the same level. I believe that we're going to have a relief rally. I think the fallback, though, isn't going to be just a small one. I think it's going to come back down and at least retest this line. Is the 8 cents that we had, that dip on February 5th, the low of the cycle? Or will this kind of drag out throughout the summer with potentially lower bottoms? That is what I'm looking for. Again, I can only tell you what I'm doing. I don't tell people to buy or sell. I just look at the charts. I look at the news, kind of piece it all together. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about bottoming? Do you think we've already done that? Let me know. Give the video a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.